welcome back to this Team Lotus F1 Manager Series, and we have arrived at the final race of the 2025 season. It's the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix as we close out this season, and unfortunately, if you checked out the last episode, then you will know our constructors' dream of getting to this final race of the season is over. Mercedes, they were back on form. They do have the better car than us, and they basically performed as they should be, a true reflection of their performance in Qatar. We didn't have the pace on them, and 29 points they gained on us, and that's enough for them to clinch the Constructors Championship. So we will finish second. So unfortunately, we don't have the excitement going into Abu Dhabi of a sneaky chance of winning the Constructors, but we do have some battles, as I mentioned in the last episode. A battle of P4 between Red Bull and Ferrari, just 9 points in that one, so we need to keep an eye on that. And then a battle for 7th, Williams, RB, and Haas. Probably have to discount Kick Sauber. But yeah, 2 points between Haas and Williams, RB and Williams on the same. So battle for P7. Don't think there's too many driver battles because we've got 20-point gaps here. The real one here, probably Max against Lewis, so that Red Bull Ferrari battle in Constructors. We also have it in the Drivers' Championship as well, so there might be a chance of Lewis beating Max for 6th in the Drivers' Championship. But yeah, as I say, bit of a disappointment last time out, but that is a true reflection of our car. We've been focusing on 2026 since Miami, so final race today. And of course, if you're not already and you're enjoying this series and you want to keep up to date with the episodes, please do subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, and then you'll be made aware of each of these episodes once they drop. It's typically on a Monday and Thursday. Please do like the video. The same target applies as for the last videos. Just trying to get these videos up to a minimum 15 likes. Really does help me out, help the channel, and help gets this out to more people to grow the channel. And if you want to get involved in the comments, please do so below. But as I say, just 4 days now till Abu Dhabi, and we'll close out this 2025 season, and then we'll focus on 2026. I will probably do a bit of a season review as I did last year, so do let me know if you do like those videos. I am planning to do it, but if the comments are saying no, we don't like those videos, then of course I won't. But it is my plan to do a bit of a season review where we go through the teammate battles, go through the Drivers' Championship where we had more points, and just look at the graphs and different things like that. A little bit of a statistical breakdown, deeper dive into teammate battles and championships. So planning to do that past this episode, and then we'll be on to setting up for 2026. But just 4 days to go, so let's crack on and get back out on track. And in fact, we didn't have anything to do apart from an email saying car development can no longer take place because we're at season end, which we were expecting anyway. We are very much back out on track. So same targets as always: 10th for Daniel Ricciardo, 9th for Liam Lawson, as we begin practice in this final race of the season in Abu Dhabi. There we go then, final practice session of the year, or final practice sessions I should say, of the year underway as we chase down 100% setup satisfaction in this one. So that is the end of practice for 2025, and as you can see here, quite a few cars taking penalties in Oscar Piastri, Fernando Alonso and Lewis Hamilton. Also got Teo Porcher, Nico Hulkenberg as well. We had a few cars running some damage as well in those sessions, one being Bottas, so we'll see what he does as well. But in terms of us, pretty difficult actually session. We did eventually get there with setup satisfaction, 96% for Lawson, 97% for Danny Rick. Of course, the car parts knowledge is 100%. No new designs on this car for a long time now. And track acclimatization just missed out, 87% for Lawson, 90% for Danny Rick. But they are perfectly set up as we head into qualifying next. Okay then, it is the final qualifying session of the year as we head both drivers out on track. And same as usual, skip through this first run, and hopefully it will serve as a banker, but hopefully enough to get us through to Q2. We're going to encounter Piastri and Hamilton, it looks like. Let's see what those times look like. Ricciardo 121.3, Lawson 2 seconds off, so Lawson was held up. So Lawson definitely going to have to go out again. And Ricciardo 3 temps off Bottas, and around about the same time as Sainz. So I think Ricciardo's going to be fine. But we'll send Lawson back out. So Lawson back out, 2 sectors completed, both green, so this is looking a lot better for Liam Lawson. Hopefully this is going to be enough. Max Verstappen, I think, is the car ahead of us. He's on a flying lap, so shouldn't cause us any issues there. Ricciardo, yeah, looks to be safely through. So let's see what Lawson does here. Hopefully this is going to be comfortable. Cross the line then for Liam Lawson. And what does he set? Yeah, he's about half a second off, so that should be good enough, hopefully, for both drivers into Q2. So here we have it then, getting to the end of session. Should be checkered flag just about now. And yes, we are going to be safely through, and no real surprises in that bottom 6 either. Okay, this is interesting though. Valtteri Bottas now showing us taking a penalty. So we've got Bottas and Piastri taking penalties. Hamilton, Pourchaire, Alonso and Hulkenberg. So quite a few, well, 3 of the top runners here in terms of Piastri, Bottas and Hamilton. Hamilton, obviously in that fight for Verstappen for Driver Championship placement, and Ferrari against Red Bull. So this could be advantage to Red Bull in that fight. Same again then in Q2. Hopefully this is going to be enough. We're going to encounter Ocon, it looks like here. I think he got out of the way pretty nicely, and Verstappen shouldn't be an issue.
Eyes on dash.
And there's about 4 attempts between them, so hopefully that is going to be enough again. I think Ricciardo got a very nice toe there off Lawson. Ricciardo on a scrub set of tyres. Lawson was on fresh softs, but gone nearly half a second slower, so I think Ricciardo benefiting from the toe. We did do that intentionally, because Ricciardo was on a scrub set, so we want to give him the advantage. But yeah, will Lawson have to go out again? We'll have to wait and see on that one. So again, we've had to send Lawson back out. Ricciardo safe, it looks like. Lawson is right on the bubble, and he's got Hamilton and Leclerc and Bottas behind him, so you'd expect him to drop into the drop zone. So Lawson back out, going green again though. And he's got Alonso right behind him, who's benefiting probably from a very nice toe. As the Red Bull out of the way very nicely. Ocon has finished. Bottas has gone top of the timesheets. Zhou has finished. So Ferrari need to find some pace here, because the Red Bull's looking pretty good. And Lawson, of course, needs to find some pace now as well. He's about to come across the line. Lawson does go quicker, and that should be enough. Hamilton is just in the top 10. And Leclerc makes it into the top 10. And I don't think Pourchaire is going quicker. So the Ferraris look like they've made it through to Q3 along with our 2 drivers. All right, so both drivers out. Ricciardo on a scrub set, Lawson on fresh softs, and we're giving Lawson the toe this time. He might be a bit too close, but let's see. Goes half a second quicker at 21:20.6. And we'll get them both out on some fresh softs for our final runs here. Yeah, I've actually decided not to send Lawson out. It's a pretty good time. I think some of these drivers are on scrub set of softs though, but Lawson's only got 1 fresh set of softs left, so I'd rather keep that for the race if we need it. Ricciardo's got about 3 sets, so he's going to go out again, and we'll see what we can do. So here's Ricciardo then. Where can he put his Team Lotus? He's only 2 thousandths a second off Leclerc. It's pretty close out there today. It is a shorter track round here, only a 120 to get all the way round. So obviously a little bit more compressed, the top 10. And he's got the world champion ahead of him, Valtteri Bottas, but I think he's a bit too far up the road to benefit from a toe. Does go green through that first sector though. And Lawson and Piastri both checkered flags. So Lawson will start ahead of Piastri. Piastri also taking a penalty, of course. And is Bottas going to put it on pole here? No purple sectors so far. Again, Ricciardo going green through that second sector. Norris puts into P3. It's just Bottas, Russell and Ricciardo now. Let's come across the line. And it's going to be Bottas first across the line. Is he going to put this on provisional pole? Has got that penalty pending. He does indeed. Ricciardo. Wow. Still P10 for Ricciardo. Not great from Danny Rick then. Expecting better than that from Daniel Ricciardo. And yeah, he's 6 tenths off pole. It is very close. It's only a tenth between Ricciardo, Verstappen and Hamilton. 2 tenths up to Leclerc. A little bit more up to these guys. Russell puts it into P2. That should be pole though once Bottas takes his penalty. So here we go. Bottas grabs pole, but he won't start in first place in the race because he's taking a penalty. George Russell second, Liam Lawson third. I think he benefited from a great toe there from Ricciardo. Probably not our actual pace because look, 121.4, 121.1. And then half a second quicker there with that 126. Lando Norris 4th, Oscar Piastri 5th, but also taking a penalty. Carlos Sainz 6th, Leclerc 7th, Hamilton 8th, but again taking a penalty. Verstappen 9th, and Daniel Ricciardo 10th. So you'd have to say advantage to Red Bull in their fight with Ferrari, because they're going to be, they're going to have 2 of their cars probably in the top 6 once these penalties are taken, and Hamilton's going to be way down the grid. So looking good for Red Bull to claim 4th, and Max to beat Lewis in the Drivers' Championship. Below Ricciardo, Alonso and Pourchaire taking penalties. So if these are significant penalties, then we could have Yuki Tsunoda and Guan Yu Zhou starting around 7th and 8th in this race. So that's going to be interesting to see, because we've also got that battle for 7th between RB, Haas and Williams. And probably advantage, well, it would have been advantage to Haas, but Pourchaire taking that penalty. But still, we've got 3 of those cars in amongst each other there. So that's going to be an interesting battle as well. But let's jump into some strategy before heading into this final race of the season. Okay, it is going to be the same strategy for both drivers, a little bit different in terms of how we're using that tyre, which is basically just the hard tyre. So it's mediums to start with, going on to the hard tyre, then medium. The only difference is you can see standard for the first stint for Danny Ric on the medium, same for Lawson. The hard, Danny Ric is going to attack, Lawson's going to go aggressive, and then the final medium is both aggressive as well. But obviously we'll manage this as the race goes on. We may shorten, we may extend these first stops, so depending on how we feel the race is going, this may change as it goes. It's going to be Lawson starting 2nd, Danny Ric promoted from 10th up to 7th due to those penalties. But let's start this final race of 2025 in Abu Dhabi. So here we go, the final race. We're finally closing out 2025. And we start in P2 with Lawson. It's George Russell in that dominant Mercedes from pole. And Ricciardo in P7 as we get underway in this one. And Lawson maintains P2. Looks like a Ferrari of Leclerc was forced out quite wide. So Ferrari in their battle with Red Bull for 4th, not going well as Leclerc down to 6th. And Hamilton had to take a grid penalty and he starts 20th. The other fight, as I say, is for 7th in the Constructors. That's between RB, Williams and Haas. And they are 8th, 9th and 10th. Because, again, Piastri, Bottas and Hamilton taking penalties. So maybe one of those or a couple of those can claim points. Lawson already having a look at George Russell. I don't want to push the tyres too mad here. Well, we just lost quite a bit of time coming out of that corner. So we might have to just abandon that because we're going to be under pressure.
Come on, mate.
And Lando Norris straight through on the inside then. What's Lando on? He's on the mediums as well. So Russell starts on the softs. Lando's on the mediums. We're on the mediums. Sainz on hards. Verstappen softs. Leclerc hards. And Ricciardo mediums. That's Ricciardo looking at Charles Leclerc here through the inside. Leclerc on those hards. So it's important we do get past him. And now it's a bit of a drag. But we are through. The DRS opens up, so that's going to help us pull away from Leclerc.
Alrighty. Nice.
You're doing a very good job.
Daniel Steinmeier, great overtake. How you doing, buddy? Hope you're well. Happy New Year to you. And Ricciardo to P6 then. And, well, he's off that. And Tsunoda's developed a mechanical fault.
It's a good stint so far.
Leclerc with the DRS.
P3.
Very strong there. Coming straight back at us.
On this compound.
Don't stress.
And Sainz has got Lawson as well.
I don't think we can do much more.
Keep the head down.
Sainz on the hards. The hards working quite well early on, it seems. Right, Lawson is about to get DRS then. Back on Carlos Sainz. They've already dropped 3 seconds to the leaders here. But the last few races in this series, we've not had the pace of the Mercedes or McLaren. Finger, how's it going, buddy? I'm very well, thank you. Had a nice Christmas break, and I'm back. How are you? And Lawson is past Carlos Sainz. So here we go. This is a move of Lawson. Getting back through on Carlos Sainz then.
And the overtake is made.
So Lawson back to P3, but as I say, we've not really got the pace on these McLaren. There's McLaren or the Mercedes, and Carlos Sainz coming straight back. And Ricciardo's now with this battle, so a bit of a DRS train forming here. Lawson's still fighting here with Sainz. He is past Sainz here.
That's okay.
But Ricciardo trying to make a move.
Car is off.
And someone spun. We've got a single yellow flag as Ricciardo's still trying to get his move done on Leclerc. It's Drugovic who's had a spin.
Good job.
Let's see what happens.
Skylar, thanks for the follow. Much appreciated. Hope you're well.
And round they go.
And that's a classic Drugovic. But if you are jumping into the stream, if you can smash a like, really does help me out. It's much appreciated. And gone very wide there has Verstappen. And that might get Lawson a bit of breathing space.
Now we should be able to take a look here.
We did just catch that, but Verstappen all over us in the dirty air. And yeah, out wide. Max goes. Verstappen gets that move done on Lawson again, but Verstappen is going to have to pit very early, so I'm not sure he's really going to be a factor, but we'll see. You bring good vibes. Thanks, buddy. You're bringing vibes in the chat. Much appreciated. So yeah, Verstappen down to 62%, so as K-Mag has had a lock-up.
Now this happens down at turn 8.
Ooh, right behind Lewis. He's obviously avoided him.
Struggling with the car. By that point, it was just too late.
That's an odd lock-up. It was not even in the braking zone, was it? The K-Mag's locking up. So Russell leads by half a second from Norris. Those two are running away with it. And then it's 5 seconds back to this group of cars, which is Verstappen, Lawson, Sainz, Ricciardo, and Leclerc. Right, Lawson is battling Verstappen. Ricciardo is battling Sainz.
Copy.
I might get both Red Bulls here. Here goes Lawson. We can see them both in this shot. Lawson through on Max Verstappen and Ricciardo is through on Carlos Sainz. But of course,
That was very
there
good.
is another DRS zone to come.
Gap ahead, 5.2.
Both are pretty strong here. Ricciardo's got to try and get into the DRS of Max Verstappen here.
You can use overtake if you need it.
And Max is going to get straight back past us here. Yes, he does. And Ricciardo does fend off Sainz, though.
Keep your head down. Behind.
Right, Ricciardo is into the DRS now of Lawson and Verstappen. Where are these that took penalties? Piastri up to 8th. See, Piastri is only now, what, 5.5? He's about 6 seconds off us, so Piastri is certainly going to be a factor. Bottas still pretty bogged down, though, down in 13th. And Hamilton in 15th. Lawson will have DRS then. And he's going to be back through on Verstappen. Is Ricciardo going to have potential here? Didn't have DRS, though. But he will have DRS on this second DRS zone.
Nicely done. You're P3.
Well, let's just see what happens here. Will Max get back past Lawson yet again here? Lawson really needs to cover that inside off. He's not really, but he is going to be okay this time round. So Lawson maintains P3. Can we have a bit of a push with Lawson here to try and break that DRS?
This was good.
Right, so Max is still challenging. We can't get rid of Max, can we, here? But Ricciardo is finally past him. Is he, though? Is Max going to challenge back here? Lawson has been able to push that gap, though, hasn't he? So that has worked.
I really focus on cooling tyres.
Copy.
And now we just need Ricciardo to get past Verstappen and push away as well, because Piastri, as I say, is going to be on us pretty soon. So we're in a bit of a Red Bull sandwich at the moment. Lawson's got 4 seconds on Verstappen now. So Lawson, we've got to try and get to lap 21 for his stop. And Ricciardo lap 23. We're quite a bit off our stops. Here comes Ricciardo. And as you see, Leclerc's coming back into the picture as well. Ricciardo is past Max Verstappen. And we get DRS actually to pull away. So we got that overtake done after we went through the detection zone. So Max has no DRS. Sainz does on his teammate and Ricciardo does. But of course, they're now going to get DRS on this second zone. Can we do what Lawson did and pull away here? Up to a second now, but they'll have DRS behind us. And now we just need to continue to push. We should be pretty good, I'd imagine.
And recharge on.
And we'll get Lawson to do a bit of top up because he's got a 3-second buffer. Ricciardo's now got 1.2. Like to get that to about 2 seconds. As Verstappen pits now, we were just talking about Verstappen having to pit first, and I believe he is the first into the pits, and he is indeed. So Max Verstappen has abused those tyres. I'm not sure it's worked for him. And it's a clean stop, though, for Red Bull, and they've got a fight on to try and get 4th in the Constructors tonight. Lawson's been doing a bit of top-up, so I think we can come off that for now. But yeah, Sainz only at 70%. They are the hards, of course. And Leclerc, Piastri, not too bad either. So the hards are working well around here. Soft's really not the tyre normally around Abu Dhabi. Bottas has made it into the points now. Hamilton's still P14. Haas and Tsunoda still scoring points. But that's because Verstappen's boxed. But under a bit of pressure here from Carlos Sainz.
At this point.
I'm going to try and push with Lawson because Ricciardo's nearly into the DRS and Sainz is going to get the move done and he'll get the DRS to pull away. So a bit like Ricciardo earlier.
Head on. So we have Leclerc a little while behind.
He gets it done on Ricciardo. So Sainz looking pretty good at the moment.
Tyres are in good shape.
Copy.
And he's straight into the DRS of Lawson.
So back out the pace.
So it looks like we might have a fight on with Sainz as well. As I say, I think Piastri's going to be pretty strong at the closing stage of this race. Russell down to 44%. Yeah, softs typically aren't very good around here, so we'll see how those soft runners do. Lawson under pressure then from Carlos Sainz. And Carlos Sainz moves through into P3, and Danny Rick is going to have a little look at his teammate. Seizes the opportunity. Does Danny Rick there? Have another look at that then. So Sainz got the DRS, Lawson no DRS, so it's pretty difficult to defend from there, although he seems reluctant to cover off that inside. And Ricciardo thought, well, I'm going to slide myself down inside there as well. Oof. Good move from Ricciardo, to be fair. And Lawson, Ricciardo, sorry, is he going to try and make the move on? Sainz comes straight back at him. He is, but Sainz doesn't want to give it up. Switches, but nearly 3 wide through there. Lawson thinking about having a look through the inside. Right-hander. It's tight through there and has to give it up.
Okay, next one is Norris.
So Danny Rick holds on to P3, but this is going to be a bit of a fight all the way to our pit stop, I feel now. As Sainz gets through in the end. Our teammates are free to fight. There's no point having team orders here. We've secured P2 in the constructors, P2 in the drivers, so they are free to fight. Tyre deg, pretty similar on both. 55 for Ricciardo, 51 for Lawson. As Russell stops now from the lead, so it is pretty early. What is the pit loss here? It is 21 seconds, so let's call it 22. So he should come out behind his teammates, so he's got quite a nice gap there, to be fair. F1 MV14, thanks for the follow, much appreciated. Joe pitting for Haas as well. And yeah, as we thought, Russell is going to get that nice little gap behind his teammate. What tyres has he gone on to? Haha, mediums, I can see. I can see some mediums on there, but we'll double check. Yeah, it is mediums. And actually, the gap to Norris, which was 7 seconds once upon a time, is 3.7, 3.6. So Norris is obviously conserving those mediums now to go a little bit longer, because he used quite a bit of it early on. So
the moment you're P2.
We are reining Norris in.
Norris.
Ricciardo back past Sainz.
Norris 3.4.
And Lawson Sainz has dropped all the way to 5th there. So Ricciardo P2, Lawson P3. So yeah, Sainz did have DRS there, but was lacking speed. I think we were benefiting from a toe from Danny Rick as well. And a bit like Danny Rick on Lawson earlier, Leclerc sees an opportunity and sneaks on through as well.
Understood.
But Lawson will like to challenge his teammate here, and we can visibly see Lando Norris now. And is Leclerc going to have a go on Ricciardo? He is. And now it'll be Lawson under pressure. Bottas came out in P13
okay,
then.
On. We keep focusing. Okay, Sainz coming now.
And Lawson remains in P2 then. Ricciardo challenging Leclerc. Sainz has dropped out of this battle momentarily. So who has stopped now? Bottas. Everyone from Zhou downwards have stopped. So Bottas will probably go up a few places once everyone stops. As Norris pits now. Bottas is onto the mediums as well. So both Mercedes have gone soft mediums. What's Norris going on to? He started on the mediums. Quite earlier for a medium stopper. He's going on to the hards. Lawson due in next lap. Or the end of this lap actually.
That's P1 for the moment. Okay, so car behind is now Leclerc.
Ricciardo trying to push past Leclerc here. Right, we are going to stop with Lawson at the end of this lap.
Box, pick confirm.
Ricciardo has got to go a little bit further, so he can't push that aggressively.
Alrighty. Nice.
Right, Lawson in for his first stop. So we're 2 stopping here today. This is the first stop of 2.
Okay.
Let's hope for a nice clean stop from the pit crew. Boys and girls down at Team Lotus. Going on to the hards, we'll finish on the mediums. 2.4, not too bad. Our average stop is now down to 2.3 though, so that's a little bit slow for us.
It will be close.
So Bottas, it would be nice to stay ahead of Bottas. We really don't want to get in that kind of fight. I think we're very much going to be clear of him though, aren't we? And Bottas has used 17% of his tyres, so I was a bit worried about Bottas, but doesn't look too bad now.
Norris, ahead of you.
Leclerc has got back past us, and Piastri, who I said I was worried about, is now within 3.4 seconds, as we've got a yellow flag.
8.8.
Ricciardo back past Leclerc, but he's having good races, Leclerc, and as I say, Ferrari are battling Red Bull for P4 in the Constructors. Once we've all stopped, we'll have a look at how it all stands. We've still got Alonso, Sainz, Piastri, Leclerc and Ricciardo to stop. And here comes Danny Rick then. Should hopefully come out between Lawson and Bottas. Hopefully this is going to be a good pit stop again. 2.3. Seems like we're on the 2.3s today. Oh, there was a little bit longer, wasn't it? The first stop. I think that's our average 2.3, so that's not too bad at all, actually. As I said, if you haven't already, please do smash the like button. Really do appreciate it. And Ricciardo, we're hoping he comes out between Lawson and Bottas. And he is going to. So, Bottas. Yeah, it's a good tyre delta to Bottas. So hopefully Bottas is not going to be a threat to us.
Bottas coming now.
I still think we can battle for P3, but I am concerned about Piastri now. So Piastri's not going to be too far behind Ricciardo once he comes out of this. Oh, that's a slow stop there. Piastri might jump him. No, he's just being held, so Leclerc just got away with it. They'll be going under. They go under the track, of course, so we hope we should be ahead of both of those. There's Leclerc, just see him there. Is Bottas going to jump Piastri? He is. Well, they're not too far behind us. Right, what tyres did they go on to? Piastri, medium, started on the hards, and so did Leclerc. So they've gone hard, medium. I would suggest they're probably going to go hard, medium, mediums, or they might even bolt on some softs at the end, but I don't think they're going to one-stop. Of course, I'm a McLaren fan, so I was very happy with the Constructors last year, but this year I have a sneaky feeling for Ferrari. I feel like Leclerc is going to be world champion. That's my early bet. I think Lewis coming in to a new team and Leclerc very much established. It'll be very hard to beat that teammate in year one. And Lawson through on Verstappen then. So we've caught Verstappen and we're through on him. Verstappen really struggling for pace. Leclerc is with Danny Rick.
You're looking good at the moment.
So Ricciardo is now back into this battle with Leclerc. And I don't know if Bottas is really going to be in this battle because he's got significant worn tyres. But Piastri will be. Sainz is finally pitting. He's gone for a very long stint. And Leclerc is certainly pushing then. Verstappen is staying with Lawson for now. Don't really want to get in a fight with Verstappen, so let's try and use a bit of the battery. Right, 29 of 58, so halfway through this one. And Ricciardo very much in a battle here. Lawson looking a little bit better than his teammate at the moment, but I think Leclerc will probably close that gap once he clears Verstappen.
And Bottas has DRS now.
Lawson is on to Lando Norris here.
You are doing
So we have DRS on Lando. And we're gaining. We've got the best DRS on the grid. It's that kind of peak Red Bull DRS. And there we go, through on Lando Norris. That is where this car is still very strong. It's the third fastest car on the grid now. But when we get into the DRS, we are very strong.
Currently P2.
But I imagine we will just drag each other along now. I don't think we're going to be able to get out of Lando's DRS particularly. Russell having it easy though, isn't he? 11 seconds up the road. Down to 58%.
Keep the head down.
Piastri's looking very good with his tyre life. I think Piastri's one to watch in this race. Just kind of sitting back, conserving those tyres. And Verstappen has to pit then. So again, very early for Verstappen. Depending what tyres he goes on, he might be 3-stopping in the end, Max. And Ricciardo eyeing up Leclerc.
We've
Lawson
seen
is
the result.
on Norris as well, but we can't watch both of them. We'll watch Danny Rick.
Come on, mate.
And he cuts most of that corner.
So car behind is now Leclerc.
And who got the
4.4
detection
behind
zone
now.
there? We did. So we should be able to get this done now on Charles. And we might use a bit of battery. Just try and bake the DRS for a little while.
Overtake available.
So Lawson did get Norris as well. They are now 9 seconds off Russell. So Russell perhaps now trying to make those tyres last a little bit longer. Can Ricciardo break the DRS to Leclerc here? Leclerc down to 69%. 2 seconds to Norris. So Lawson's break the DRS for now. Ricciardo can have a little go now on Lando. Here we go, DRS assisted.
Okay, keep it clean. Focus
And
on
I'd
the
say
pace.
our DRS is very powerful. And there we go, through on Lando. And we're still using a bit of our battery here.
Good job. That's P3.
Can we pull away from Lando here? We've sort of just dragged Lando straight into Lawson though, which isn't great. Kind of need to push both of them now then.
Use your tools.
Ricciardo has got 1.1 to Norris though. Norris, I think, has just about got DRS, so that's a bit frustrating, but... Well, we didn't actually, but he's going to get a slipstream. But if our two teammates can trade DRS here... It's Mercedes, followed by 2 Team Lotus cars, followed by 2 McLarens then here. Bottas is now down to 39%, so I think he'll be in a couple of laps' time. Need our teammates not to crash into each other here. But keep using the DRS on each other. Oh, this is getting spicy between Ricciardo and Lawson. But Ricciardo holds on to it. And Bottas is now into the pits. So Bottas, where will he come out now? He's going on to the hard, so I expect he's going to try and go to the end. And Lawson overtakes Ricciardo then. So we're just kind of using each other here as a bit of a DRS train to pull a gap on Lando, which seems to be working. And Russell is now only 5.7 seconds up the road. Is there a sneaky chance of a victory here? Make sure our 2 teammates don't take each other out.
And try to cool down the tires while you can. It's slightly coming up.
Lando, I think, is having a bit of a push here because he's suddenly pulled about half a second in. Russell pits now. Bottas all the way back down to P11 as we saw him on the hards. Russell is in now. As the Merc team wait to receive him. Clean stop, unfortunately, for us. Right, Ricciardo then in for his second and what should be final stop, and Norris copies. Norris in as well. So we've got to have a clean stop here. If not, we're going to lose out to Lando Norris then. The last pit stop, for hopefully, for Daniel Ricciardo in 2025 then. Looks like the McLaren's got a nice clean stop. 2.4, not the quickest, but it should keep us ahead of Lando, and it does.
Reminder, throttle on pit exit.
So we're going to have Lando right behind us here. Let's... Hold on, what's going on here? Would the softs work? I don't think they would they? Mediums would still be quicker. Mediums would still be quicker. So let's get Liam Lawson in for his final stop as well.
You're doing some good time management.
Right, Ricciardo has come out ahead of Norris, of course, but they've come in around Sainz and Bottas. We did just clear them, but we're going to be under threat.
So we are P5.
Massive threat here because they've all got DRS. And we've got nothing. We've got zilch here.
Sun's coming now.
Oh, Norris, Sainz and Bottas. We should pick up DRS here off the back marker.
16 laps to go. 16 laps to go.
Which is going to be crucial for us, and we do. But we need him out of the way now, and he does get out of the way nicely. He can block off the rest if he wants.
Overtake available. Drop the pace now,
Oh, I
please.
think he has blocked them off
Yep, I'm good.
momentarily. Right, Lawson boxes now. So he may well be jumped by all of those cars. As Piastri's in as well. 2.6, and it's a slower stop, so you'd have to think he's about to be jumped by Ricciardo,
closer,
Norris, Sainz
Bottas.
and Bottas. $15 laps to go then, and here we go. It's going to be tight, but it's just going to be behind them, so work to do for Lawson. As Lawson is
Take a
past
look
Carlos
now.
Sainz.
Now we're watching the action closely here.
So one of the cars we need to get past is
It's certainly
done. Leclerc got an issue as well that's getting worse. And he's only 2.6 seconds up the road. He's at risk of a puncture and he's still going. Ferrari battling for fourth in the championship, and Leclerc still going here. That could be... Yeah, it's bold anyway.
Norris behind you. Just head down.
They're going to pit him for softs. Yeah, you'd have to imagine he'll go on softs at the end here. But he'll be, what, 22 seconds. So 31. He'll be behind Verstappen. He'll be comfortably ahead of Sainz. So here comes Lando, and there is Leclerc, who's going really slow now, trying to nurse those tyres to the end. Not to the end, to the end of his stint, sorry. 27%. He's got to be boxing at the end of this lap. And we've both got DRS, but Lando, is he going to get bogged behind?
understood.
No, he isn't. He pulls back out. And we're both going to get bogged behind Leclerc here. So this isn't ideal. Is Lando going to look to the inside? He can't get through. Charles placing his car in the right places, and this is really slowing us up here. Leclerc must be coming into the pits. He survived the scare and puncture, down to 26%. He's not pit. He's not stopped. Leclerc's on a mad one. Leclerc's on a mad one, and he's holding us up. Bottas has took a second out of us here. Oh, this is real bad. We need the DRS zone. Bottas is gaining so quickly. We don't want to bring him into this fight. It's real Lando's fault for not getting past him. He's going to do it now, though. No. Charles is fighting for his life out there. Down to 24%. Ricciardo's got to make the move on him, though. And he is. Thank God that is over. And Lawson is close to the DRS of Bottas here. Well, that cost us quite a bit, and it's been very beneficial for George Russell, who's eked out a 13-second gap now. You'd have to imagine that's going to be enough for him. As Danny Rick looks for the move on Lando Norris, but not quite.
We have margin to push a bit more.
And Lawson right on Bottas here now.
Honestly, I don't think we can do much more.
Surely Leclerc is into the bits this time round.
Okay?
Yes, he
Pitted
is.
onto the hard tyre.
Oh, pitting on the hard tyre. GP knows. GP's seen the tyres out. Surely Leclerc's not going on the hard tyres with 10 laps to go. That must be... No, they're softs. They're softs, GP. And that's a slow stop as well. GP getting all in a kerfuffle. Right, we could be in for 2 moves here.
Cool down the tires where you can.
Okay.
Hopefully we're going to see Ricciardo past Lando. It's already done, that one. And Lawson as well.
Attaboy.
Past Bottas. So we're up to P2 and P4. Can Ricciardo now push away from Lando? Lando's used 10% more on his softs, so hopefully we can. And if you are watching the stream and you haven't already, please do smash the like button. Really helps me out. As Lawson around the outside of Lando Norris, and he'll get the inside here. And he is through into P3.
Well done.
Bottas has dropped off quite a bit there, and Lawson is through. And I think we'll try and use this battery while we can.
Gap 2.6.
It's 10 seconds. Ricciardo to Russell now. Got the fastest lap. Leclerc hasn't done any purples, Leclerc, so maybe Ricciardo might steal the fastest lap here.
Currently P3.
2 laps to go. Lawson has just dropped off Danny Rick here, but this Alpine could have its part to play, as he loves blocking, does the Alpine, especially Drugovic. It's Drugovic, isn't it? Yes, it is. Ricciardo gets past him, gets DRS, which is going to help him in defending against Liam Lawson. It's 6 seconds now, under 6 seconds to Russell, but we're going to run out of laps.
1 second.
And Lawson has just dropped out of the DRS, I believe, or did he get it? I don't think he did. I'm going to put them both on deploy. Let's make it fair. Run out their batteries.
Okay, cheers.
Oh, we're going to have a last lap battle between our 2 drivers then. It's 5.3 to George Russell.
Doing a good job managing all your tyres.
It's going to look pretty close in the end.
Yeah, copy that.
Sidon Russell was nearly a pit stop ahead of us at one point in this race. But Russell starts the final lap then. And it's going to be Lawson against Ricciardo. Lawson is going to get 2 bites of DRS here.
Okay, this is last lap.
Understood.
I'm going to put Ricciardo on aggressive for defending.
We will keep an eye on tire temperatures.
So Lawson following his teammate. Can he beat him in this final race for P2? Let's hope they don't collide, because they're on for a double podium to finish this 2025 season. Here comes the DRS for Lawson. But if he makes the move here, he's of course going to give DRS to Danny Rick, although they're neck and neck. Who's going to get in the detection zone? Whoever's got it is going to win, I'd imagine. It's Lawson with
Keep
it.
your head down.
Lawson is going to take P2, it looks like, because he got the DRS. And to be fair, he had the pace. He caught up with Ricciardo. And it looks like Lawson, on the final race of the season, is going to get ahead of Danny Rick. It's only 3.2 to Russell. We've had good pace here at the end where we've been pushing. So Russell is going to win for this dominant Mercedes. They've won the Constructors. Bottas has won the Drivers' Championship. And they win the final race in Abu Dhabi. But it's going to be Liam Lawson to claim P2 over his teammate Danny Rick in P3. It's a double podium for Team Lotus to finish the 2025 season. And Valtteri Bottas, the world champion for 2025, has recovered from his grid penalty to finish P4. Norris P5. And then we've got Piastri, Verstappen, Leclerc, and Sainz very close between Verstappen, Leclerc, and Sainz here. Well, it looks like Verstappen's going to hold that off.
It's a good day for the team. Good points.
But that's a good end to the season for Team Lotus, P2 and P3. And we finished the season strong. We are the third fastest car now. We didn't design the car since round 6 in Miami. So to finish double podium is pretty well done to both Liam Lawson and Danny Rick. And there we go. Lawson is never allowed to take his hat off in this game. And George Russell wins then. He's been dominated by his teammate Bottas this year, but he finishes strong in 2025 to win in Abu Dhabi. Well, there we go then. Full classification. George Russell wins it. Liam Lawson second. He finished where he starts. And Danny Rick up 4 places to finish P3. Valtteri Bottas, good drive from him, as I say, up 16 places from that grid penalty to claim 4th. Lando Norris 5th, Oscar Piastri up 9, even though he did develop an issue, so good race from him. Max 7th, Leclerc 8th, Carlos Sainz 9th, and Lewis Hamilton up 11 as well to claim the final point. And Danny Rick took the extra point for the fastest lap of the race. So drivers, I don't think we're going to see any changes. We don't. So the only real battle was going to be between Hamilton and Verstappen. That was 8 points in favour of Verstappen coming into that, and he's extended that. So Bottas is the world champion. Daniel Ricciardo finished second, Oscar Piastri 3rd, Liam Lawson 4th, George Russell 5th, but he finishes 170 points off his teammates. So as I say, dominated by Bottas. Max Verstappen 6th, Lewis Hamilton 7th, who beats Leclerc in their first season as teammates. Lando Norris 8th, who similarly has been dominated by Oscar Piastri as well this year. Leclerc 9th, and Carlos Sainz 10th. The rest that scored points this year: Fernando Alonso in 11th, Yuki Tsunoda 12th, Guan Yu Zhou in 13th, Ocon 14th, Gasly 15th, Perez 16th, and Magnussen with 1 point for Aston Martin. So Aston Martin got 50 points this year, 49 via Alonso and 1 via Magnussen. And then Teo Portier, Lance Stroll, Hulkenberg, Van Dorn, and Drugovich scored no points in 2025. Constructors then. We already knew Mercedes were the champions for this year, and they actually extended it by 3 points in the end, but we rang them close. We took it to the penultimate race of the season, but our aim is next year. So we finished second, McLaren 3rd, Ferrari 4th, and Red Bull 5th. So Ferrari do still hold on to that. So Red Bull took 3 points out of them, but it wasn't enough. They needed another 7 points to overcome that. So it's Ferrari 4th, Red Bull 5th, Aston Martin finished 6th, and then these finished where we were coming into it, so none of these scored points. So Williams 7th, RB 8th, Haas 9th, Kick Sauber 10th, and the only team yet to score, not scoring because it's over. 2025 is over. Alpine having an absolute stinker this year. No points for them. Pit stops, I don't think we did anything in this race, no, but we finished 10th in this last year, and we've been trying to improve this, and we have. So we finished 8th this year. Definitely got quicker on the pit stops, because last year they were averaging about 2.5. We're getting them down to 2.2 now, so I think next year we'll be even quicker in that. And that is the end of 2025. Well, actually, not quite, because the next episode, we're going to do a deeper dive on this season. So we'll look at where the championships were won and lost, and we'll do some teammate battles. We'll do some head-to-heads, looking in the database, doing those head-to-head battles, looking at the graphs. So that's coming next on the channel. But that is the end of the 2025 on-track action. And in the end, that last race, a bit of an anticlimax. There wasn't too much on the line. There was nothing for us to fight for, which obviously doesn't make it as exciting. But also, there weren't too many other battles to look out for. There was that battle for 4th in the Constructors and the battle for 7th. But how the race panned out, that kind of just fizzled out. So a bit of a quiet end to the 2025 season, but we do finish with a lovely double podium. So finishing on top, so to speak. And yeah, looking forward to the 2026 season. We've done lots of research, so I'm pretty confident we're going to be in good shape as we head into that season. But if you're not already enjoying this series, please do subscribe to the channel. And if you do like the content, please do smash a like on the video. As I've said, trying to get it up to 15 likes. So we're edging to that target. We're getting the videos to about 10 likes. So if you can help us get to 15 likes, I would very much appreciate that. And do get involved down below in the comments. We'll be back very soon with the next episode in this Team Lotus F1 Manager series, which is going to be a review of this 2025 season.